So together we are going to, inshallah, to start our lecture today, lecture 10, about mobile communication security challenges. So today we are going to cover three types of operating systems. We're going to cover the first operating system, which is Android. Then we're going to talk about Apple iOS, and we finally talk about Windows Phone. We start by exploring all three types of operating systems, and we see each one of them vulnerabilities, the most common vulnerabilities, most common attacks, and how to defer such types of attacks. So for mobile phone breaches and vulnerabilities, we have some expressions that we have to keep in mind. The first one is malware, which is maliciousware, malicious code, such as viruses, such as Trojan horses, rootkits, and other malware. Operating system attacks. The attack is not, you know, there is some kind of difference between the malware and attack. The attack is like a plan. Somebody is making a plan to breach a device or take the data or steal the data. So this is just a plan. This plan, we can use malware inside this plan. So attack is different from malware. And also for sideload, these are common breaches of mobile applications or mobile devices. The side-loaded mobile applications. This is some kind of applications downloaded from unauthorized third-party sites. Side-loaded mobile applications. Sometimes you go to the App Store and download the application together with another application that may come to your device and listen to your phone, listen to your mic and see your camera. So this is side-loaded mobile applications. Communication attacks like eavesdropping communication, like listening to the conversation between the sender and receiver. Lack of user awareness. The user don't know too much about technology, don't know too much about security of, or using technology in a secure way. So maybe the hacker can reach the user, the unaware user, using social engineering or some other tools. Uninstalled system updates. All these breaches of mobile, they are all breaches. You can see these all vulnerabilities, common vulnerabilities in all mobile devices. Uninstalled system updates means that you have operating system and you don't update your operating system. Mobile browsing vulnerabilities. You have your mobile, you can use your mobile device to surf the internet and go online. Sometimes you go to a malicious website, download some unneeded applications that lead to breaching your device. USB and Bluetooth connections, and this we have talked about the wireless connections and how the hacker can use them to reach to your device. And also another type of vulnerabilities, another type of vulnerabilities, near field communication. And this is some kind of device that can reach, can reveal, or can listen to the conversation or listen to the transactions that you are doing with your mobile, and it can reveal financial information stored on the device. Also, poor technical controls. Poor technical controls. You need some controls like using, like Abdullah Isam, who said about antivirus, you don't have enough tools to protect your device. Unsecure application software that we have talked about at the beginning of the lecture about securing your application. So securing your application doesn't depend entirely on the entire system depend on the operating system, but your application should have the standards of security. For example, like Abdullah Ahmed said, that we need to have privileges, levels of privileges. So we have a higher privilege, we have middle privilege, and low privileges. So the users should have this type of access. This cannot be done by the operating system. It should be done by the development of the application, or the developers of the application should do it. Also, login and authentication controls, like somebody leaving his mobile phone without username, not username, actually it's PIN number or pattern. So somebody can get his phone and see some information or do some unneeded installation of the of application or something like that. Okay, so for example, the exploits tools and techniques, they are different. We say about here, we say about vulnerabilities. This is vulnerabilities. This is weaknesses that may happen in the mobile device. But here, these are the tools that may be used to make an attack. The tools or the techniques or the plans. So this is, okay, I want to differentiate between these two. These are vulnerabilities, means that for these are weaknesses in the system, But here, these are plans for attack. These are tools may be used to have an attack. So they are different just because these are more planned using multiple tools and so on. For example, the first one is surveillance vulnerabilities. Surveillance vulnerabilities, we can have tools to listen to the microphone conversations. Financial vulnerabilities, like stealing transaction codes and make man-in-the-middle attack. And I told you about Wireshark and Airshark. Somebody can use Airshark to make man-in-the-middle attack and steal financial information. And botnet activity, that your device, you don't know, maybe it is contributing or participating in distributed denial of service attack. Maybe your device is a zombie, means it contributes to device denial of service attack. You don't know that. You will not know. You will not feel that. How this is happening? By you go to a website or you go to an application, download an application, and accept the download of other application together with that application, and maybe the other application that you permitted to install in your device is a botnet activity. So after a while, you will find your device having not hijacked or but somebody uses it to make an attack to another devices. So this is denial of service attack. Data theft. Data theft means the emails and the SMS messages may be stolen. This is data theft. Somebody can hijack your device, go to your store, and steal your emails and SMS messages, also the photos or anything stored on your device. Impersonation. Impersonation is another attack when somebody alleges that he is somebody else. So for example, uh, like impersonating Wi-Fi in the evil twin attack. This is some kind of impersonation, taking the identity of another Wi-Fi and allege that it's yours. This is impersonation. Majority of malware attacks developed between 2012 and 2014. They are targeting Android operating system. And the most common attacks came from the potentially unwanted applications. I want to draw your attention to the potentially unwanted applications here. You will in security you will hear about this frequently, because potentially unwanted applications, this is not developed by the hackers. It is developed by the application developers. For what reason? For monetizing their applications. For monetizing or monetize their applications. They want to collect money by allowing some kind of advertisements. So if your application allow some advertisements, if your application allows some kind of advertisements, it's may be exploited by using potentially unwanted applications. What is the idea of potentially unwanted applications? It is like your application is opening channel, your application is opening channel for other applications to make advertisements. It is an open channel, means that maybe that other application that want to make advertisement may be a malicious website or a malicious software. That malicious software can hijack your device through this channel. Again, I'm saying it again. The potentially unwanted applications, it is just some kind of applications. The developers develop their application, they add some kind of monetizing to their application using opening a channel to third-party applications. These third-party application can contribute the to your application and make some advertisements. It is like an open channel for the third-party applications to send you some advertisements. They can send advertisements, and also they can send malicious device, the malicious code. This malicious code can hijack your device and listen to your phone, see your camera. Okay? So this is potentially unwanted applications. For the now we start to speak more technically about Google Android security. We are going to speak in a specific way about Google Android, the vulnerabilities. We will talk about the popularity of Android, the criticism of Android, Android exploitation tools, Android security architecture, and also Android application architecture. And finally, we will end up with Google Play. And you know that Android popularity comes from what? It comes from that the Android is an open source model. Is an open source model. This means programmers, developers can contribute to adding some features and functions to the Android operating system. Also, we have a closed systems like Apple operating system or Apple iOS or Windows phones. They are closed system, means they also only the developers, only the company, the developers is not from public, they are from the company, inside the company. This is closed systems. Because it is an open source model, you will find lots of vulnerabilities in Android operating system. That's why, because it is an open source model. Uh, because we have the popularity of Android, we have also, in the other way around, we have lots of attacks and vulnerabilities. For example, rooting an Android device. Rooting an Android device can be done easily, not easily actually now, but I'm saying that rooting an Android device is easier than rooting iOS device. Is easier than rooting Windows Phone device. So rooting means what? You have a root access. If you know anything about Linux, you will find a command uh, you using the sudo or super user do, like something like that. It is sudo. Sudo is like having root access to the device. If you have a root access to the device, you have higher privileges. You can do much of the work that is not permitted normally to normal users, like accessing the operating system and playing with the operating system files. This is rooting an Android device. Cyber criminals also, you know, in the community of Android, not all people are good people. For example, this is an open source. Not all contributors of the operating system are good people. Some of them are bad people, are bad developers. They are clever. They can, they can contribute to the development of Android, but actually they have added some code to their update. And Google accepts this code and install it with Android, and actually they have installed an eye of the attacker. Okay, so you understand this point? Okay, I'm repeating it again. I'm going to ask you about something, so concentrate with me, please. What I'm saying right now is some of the, Android is an open source. And this open source means that anybody can contribute to developing Android or adding some features to Android. But actually, can be verified by Google first. Then, if it is passed some verification, they can be installed with the update to the Android operating system. What the bad guys do? The bad guys do what? They do update or new feature. They add new features to Android devices, and inside these features, they hide some kind of code. They hide some kind of malicious code, and they are clever to the degree making this feature signed by Google. After signing by Google, it is updated by the users, and the malicious code is installed together with the update. Now, the cyber criminals can target any device that have installed that type of update until it is discovered by Google. Okay? That's why,
Okay.
yes, Abdullah, تفضل.
دكتور أنا بقول ده understood.
Okay. So for example, also we can use some applications to have root access like Andrew rat. Rat mean not rat like a mouse. It is rat root access uh, of the device. So Andrew rat is called Andrew rat. This is we can use this application to have root access to the Android. This is not actually, as I told you before, it's like fishing. You have it's not easy. Some of the students they are seeing some kind of Android rat or any other tool. They say, "Okay, we can hack now, doctor." No, you can't hack. It's actually is not an easy task. Hacking like fishing. It's like fishing. You go fishing like waiting for the fish to bite the food that you are giving the food to food a food to the fish, and when when the fish starts to eat that food, you can catch it. Before that, you will never catch it. So it is like fishing exactly. It's not an easy task. So whenever I say Air Shark and Wireshark, you can use these tools or even Metasploit. Metasploit is a very strong way or tool to make penetration testing. So whenever some of the students hear about these tools, they say, "Okay, we found the key. We found the tool that we can use for hacking." No, it is not an easy task, as I told you. It is like a game. You play it with the victim until you can reach his privileges or take his data. So Android Red and also Android Software Development Kit. This is also can have some privileges on the Android device because it is already used for development of applications on the Android device. So they can use in reverse engineering tasks. They can be used in reverse engineering tasks. And reverse engineering is not an ethical task because you can have the code or part of the code without the permission of the company. Also, the Droid box and Android framework for exploitation. All these are exploitation tool. You can go online and read some information about these tools and how to use them for hacking Android devices. The Android security architecture. The Android security architecture is a multi-layer architecture. Multi-layer architecture. Whatever I want to concentrate here, I want only you concentrate on this word, the multi-layer security. The multi-layer security here making two objectives. The first one is to handle the flexibility of an open module, providing flexibility, and in the other way, it provides a protection for the users. So this is the multi-layer. Multi-layer means we have multi-layer of security. As I told you, we have a defense in depth. If you hear about defense in depth, like circles, and each circle is a layer, and you are accumulating on these layers one by another, one after another. If the hacker can reach or can breach the first layer, it cannot breach the second layer, and so on. This is multi-layer architecture or multi-layer security. So the architecture of security is a multi-layer architecture. Okay? Okay. This security can have these kind of architectures. Uh, the security at the operating system Linux kernel. This is the deepest layer. After this layer, the one layer that should be at the bottom, not at the top actually. So this is the deepest one, which is the security at the operating system Linux kernel, because you know Android is built on Linux kernel. Android is built on Linux kernel, is an extension of Linux operating system. Also the sandboxing. That's why I'm talking about sometimes if you install antivirus for your device is not effective, because for example, just I want you to understand, this is very important. You have sandboxes here, like sandboxes, okay? Suppose this is a sandbox, and this is application A, and this is application B, and this is application C. Now I want to install an antivirus. I cannot install antivirus to control all of these guys, but antivirus will be installed in its own sandbox. It cannot have direct control on all of the applications here. It cannot have this control. So installing antivirus is not effective for protecting the applications. Is not, you can say, is not too effective to be sure about, or to be accurate about the word. It's not surely a guarantee of protecting the applications on Android devices or any other devices. But in Windows, the operating system is a layer like that, and the application layer is application layer like that, is installed on the operating system, and one of the applications can be the antivirus. So the antivirus can have control on all the applications. So antivirus is very effective in Windows, but it is not effective in the Android operating system or any other operating system for mobile phones. Why that? Because the the antivirus is installed in its own sandbox, and it cannot have direct control on all the other applications, or even the operating system which is installed in its own sandbox. Also, there is no, it's like interaction between the applications. There is an interaction. There is no control. It's just interaction. For example, I want something from the operating system. The operating system give me that thing, and then I use it in my application. Like, for example, if you want to ask the operating system about the location, the geolocation in GPS, or to ask the operating system about the horizontal location, you are horizontal or vertical, to want to rotate your screen or something like that. If you want to get something from the operating system, you have to communicate the operating system to have this information. There is no direct control for any application on the operating system. That's why sandboxing, the concept of sandboxing, you have to understand it. You are dealing with mobile applications, you are dealing with separated applications. It's not layered applications like Windows operating systems. Okay, so I want to ask you a question here, and I want you to answer why why antivirus is not too effective with Android operating systems.
Doctor, it's because Android is not that is not enhanced like that of the iOS. You know, iOS. iOS is fully
Yes.
secure.
Yeah, one of the reasons that Android is an open source operating system, and but actually Android is an open source operating system. That's okay, but for the antivirus, if I want to talk about the antivirus is not effective in mobile applications or mobile device operating systems.
Doctor, you mean it's not 100% secure? We took this in a previous lecture.
Yes, it's not.
But
No,
the
no,
4G,
I'm not. No, 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 no. I'm not talking
it's also
about
applied.
100. For example, I can say antivirus is more effective in Windows compared to Android. So why is more effective? That's the question.
Oh, Doctor, I understand you, but Doctor, I don't have much information. I just have basic like.
No,
Like
I just answered it right. Just answered it on this slide. I mean, why antivirus is not effective on Android operating system? Why? What is the reason for this?
Doctor, because like what you said, it's an open source. Anyone can contribute, and he can put malicious code, as you said.
That's if I ask you, it's a good to have your answer, Abdullah Hassan. But if I ask you why Android is vulnerable compared to other operating system, you answer me your answer. You say your answer, which is because Android is an open source operating system. What I'm asking about is why antivirus is not effective on Android operating system compared to yes.
Doctor, you mean that the antivirus is less effective on Android and it's more effective on Windows?
Yes.
Doctor, maybe there are some features.
Yeah, what are these features?
That are inside other operating systems that are not found on Android. Like for example, let's say like the antivirus is like version 7, okay?
Yes.
The Android is not compatible with this version, so it takes less.
No, I think you didn't listen to these slides, Abdullah. I think you didn't listen to the answer. I just said the answer about sandboxing. Do you know about sandboxing? I just mentioned it and drew some drawings right now. Just a few minutes later.
Doctor, I don't think actually I was concentrating much.
Okay. Anybody else know the answer? Anybody else? Hagar? You know the answer, Hagar? Hagar is not there?
No, doctor. I'm here, doctor.
Okay. Nurhan?
Yes, doctor.
Do you know the answer for my question? No? Yes, no, yes, no. Abdullah Ahmed? Abdullah Ahmed? Nadine? Nadine, do you know the answer to my question? Are you there? My God, I see you are opening the computer and then go away.
Doctor, أنا هون Nadine.
Yes, Nadine, you didn't reply to me. Now, Nadine, I want you to answer a question. Did you hear the question? فريال.
لا دكتور ما أعرف.
طيب شوف الشباب كده مين. محمد رمزي.
نعم دكتور، ما بعرف والله.
ماشي. طيب I will say the answer and then I will ask after saying the answer because this is very important. If you don't understand the sandboxing, we are wasting our time. So why antivirus is not effective on Android? Just because we have the concept of sandboxing. This sandboxing is like these boxes like this, and then application A is here. Any application is okay. Application B, they are installed on their own sandbox. And if I want to install antivirus, I have to install it in its own sandbox. So antivirus will not have direct control on the other applications. It cannot control other applications. Antivirus can only communicate with the applications. Just some kind of communication, not direct control. But in Windows, the Windows is different because the operating system is here. Here also, the operating system is installed in its own sandbox. So also antivirus will not have direct control on operating system, will not have direct control on the applications. And it is installed like other applications, it is installed in its own sandbox. So it is separated from other applications. It cannot control other applications. Antivirus must control other applications to be able to protect them. But here in the operating system for Windows, this is Android. Okay, and this is Windows. When in Windows, it is different. Operating system is the lowest layer, and then applications on the other layer, on the second layer. This is the apps. And then we install antivirus here. One of the apps is antivirus, is one of these layers. So it can control the entire operating system together with the applications. So here, antivirus is more effective than here, just because the antivirus is sandboxed. Okay, so now I clean everything, returning to your list, asking who knows the answer of my question. Why antivirus is not effective on Android? Anybody?
دكتور
I am asking about why operating why
أجاوب؟
antivirus. Yes, تفضل.
دكتور, it's because of the sandbox. Don't let the antivirus connect directly to the applications.
Yes, that's good, Muhammad. That's exactly the answer.
Thank you.
Thank you, Muhammad. That's the correct answer, which is sandbox is separating applications from each other, and antivirus is installed as an application, and it is separated from other applications. So it cannot have direct control on those applications. So returning back to the security architecture, which is a layered architecture. The first architecture is the operating system kernel. The second layer is the sandboxing of applications. The secure intercommunication, inter-process communication. That's why we have sandboxes, and we have to have inter-process communication. This is different from the communication between devices. This is inside. Inter, it means inside the operating system. It happens inside the operating system and between processes. And you know, the process is a runtime program. Process is just a runtime program. So they communicate at runtime. That's why they say inter process, not inter application. They say inter process just because the process is a program at runtime. Also, the fourth layer is digital signing of applications, and this is very important because without digital signing of the applications, this means any application can be installed on the Android device, and the bad applications can also be installed. The signing is important just because to be sure that this application is authenticated and it is original application and is safe application. And this is ensured by Google. They make platform for this purpose. Any developer want to put his application on App Store, on Play Store, they have to go in the signing process. And also the last one is user granted application permissions, and this is the layer of user that uses, for example, PIN code or uses pattern to protect his device. Sorry. Okay. So also we can say the architecture also can hear about security, the layers. If we talk about layers of security, this is layers of security, security on the operating system layer and also for the user. This is the highest one, and this is the lowest one. This is at the kernel, and this is at the user interface. We can say some actions on the Android device. These actions, or you can say actions, yes, actually they are actions. They can be divided also into 4 levels of layers. The first one is activity. The second one is service. Third one is content providers. And the third one is broadcast receivers. The activity means whatever the activity is done by the user interact with the application. Service, the service that is done in the background of the applications, like playing music or having the latest prices of coins and so on, or the weather applications that is updated second by second. This is services. And the content providers, actually services and content providers, like what the example, what I have said about temperature and finding the weather temperatures. This is a service and also can be a content provider. Your application need to have some content from other third-party application, like want to communicate with a server to have the latest prices of coins and the latest number of temperatures. These are content providers. So activity, this is by the user. Services, that's that program running in the background. Content providers, this is you have data from outside your application. And broadcast receivers, this is some some messages on the application are broadcast, means it is listened by all applications. Means you are listening to, for example, battery low message or microphone unplugged. These should be listened by all applications. It's not like Windows. In Windows, we don't have broadcast receivers. If the application programmed to listen to the broadcast, okay, it is going to listen to a broadcast. like unplugged network or unplugged microphone or unplugged camera. But if the application didn't care about it, it will never your application never hear these broadcast messages. But in Android, it is a must. It is a must. It's like it is listened by all applications. This is the broadcast receivers. Last thing about Android, the Google Play is a digital distribution for the Android applications. As I said before, if you are reading anything regarding security, so you say, okay, Google Play is good. We install our applications, we do the lovely games that we want to play, we download it from the Google Play. But at the same time, the bad applications can also be uploaded or downloaded from Google Play. So take care of this. You are thinking in the white area only. No, you have to think also in the black area. You have a white side and black side. You have, as a security officer, you have to put both sides in your mind. You have to keep that in your mind. Google Play is good. My child is going to the applications and install the games, but I cannot let my device in the hands of my child. Why? Because Google Play is not an open, is not secured from the malicious applications. Even the signed applications, the hackers are clever, very clever, to include some hidden code that is passed by by Google and passed by certificate providers and signed, and have all the process of signing and authentication and everything, but it is hiding a code inside it. That's why you have to take care. You don't download anything. No, not anything like that. You have to check. Be care about which application you need to install. Which application you need in whenever you need something. You need it really, not just install it for curiosity. This is not good habit on even Windows when you install anything you want. Okay, that's the part of the Google, and I think we can have a break. Okay, we can have a break for 30 minutes. I think now at your side it will be about reaching 12 o'clock, so we meet at 12:30. Okay.
Doctor, it's 1:30
Doctor.
minutes, you mean?
Okay.
Okay.
Wow, the time passed very quickly.
Yeah.
Yes, it's about 1 o'clock at your side. This means no, we still we are finishing we are finishing this. Okay, I mean we still have time, right? So here we have.
Oh, Doctor.
Okay, let me stop the recording.